Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Grace. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I would love you to also come back, so consider subscribing if you haven't, and also turn on the post notification bell to get notified each time I post a new video. Alright, in today's video I want to be giving an update as well as sharing some other things. I've shared this update already on my blog. If you follow my blog, you must have seen it like a couple of months ago, and also recently announced it on LinkedIn. So if you follow me on LinkedIn, you may have seen the announcement as well. Ding, 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 ding. So I transitioned to product management. So I'm no longer a social media manager. I'm now a product manager. Yeah, so I've been a social media manager for 5 years, or I was a social media manager for 5 years. Here we are today. I'm really grateful for those who have supported me so far in my journey, because I started this YouTube channel with sharing tips for social media managers, and I'm so grateful to read comments from beginner social media managers that are now intermediate and experienced, and saying they learned 1 or 2 things from my videos on my YouTube channel. Like, it gladdens my heart and it warms my heart, because that was the point of making the video, to help and to teach, and I'm glad that it's been, the goal is being achieved. So I'm really grateful that has happened. Thank you for coming on this journey with me. I don't take it for granted. So moving forward, you'll be seeing more of product management related content, no longer social media. This should be like my last social media management content, so I decided to just share this update with you, as well as just give you tips on how I've been able to navigate the whole thing, and maybe just a little insight on why I decided to transition. So let me start from the last part. Why did I decide to transition? So for the longest of time, I have been struggling with anxiety. I'm an introvert. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm an introvert, and it's been like it's been crazy being a social media manager and being an introvert at the same time. So I was actually living a dual life, if that makes sense. It's not me pretending, it's just me being able to balance having a job that puts food on my table, and also having a personal life where I enjoy. So I was able to kind of find a balance. It was not easy, honestly, but somehow I was able to balance it at the end of the day. I didn't just like the social media space, but that was the space that actually put food on my table. That's where I was working with. So anyway, the long story short, I made a decision and I looked for a career path to choose, and I saw product management. It actually took a while for me to figure it out, but I'm grateful for the help and the gift of the Holy Spirit to be able to help me navigate and figure out what it is exactly that I think I'm going to like long term, and grow and build. Was it scary starting all over? Yes, it was really scary. That's why I had been procrastinating. In my 3rd year, I didn't want to I was already struggling, but I didn't want to leave. But I just had to make that decision, and I'm like, you know what, this is something that you have to do. You got to do what you got to do. What is there? Just start all over. The fear of starting all over made me procrastinate starting all over. Better late than never, right? So here we are today. So let me just share a few tips on how I was able to navigate being a social media manager and also being an introvert. So let's just get right into the tip. My first tip is that, like I said, I had to have that balance. This is work and this is my personal life. So anything I had to do with work, I had to do what I needed to do. I had to be socializing myself in the office, trying to create content. You just have to be friendly, you just have to be nice, you just have to be a people's person for that period of time, just to be able to get the job done. So I was able to come out of my shell when I need to, and then go back in when I come back home. My home, my room, my space is my safe haven. It's like my sanctuary where I come, and my sanity and everything is back. So yeah, being able to just have that balance. Okay, when I'm at work, I have to do what I have to do. I know that I'm an introvert, but I need to interact to be able to get the job done, because as a social media manager, you'll be working with different teams, you'll be managing communications in some organizations, so you need to put your ears on the ground. You need to have people in different departments that you can collaborate with, and it just make everything easier and better for you. My next tip is establishing boundaries. So being able to establish boundaries, especially working hours, is something that I struggled a lot in the beginning of my career in social media management. I struggled a lot with boundaries. Like, it was such a big deal that I had to learn the hard way. So being able to establish boundaries, you know when your client is your client or your employer is your employer. You don't want to get too close because if you get too close, I don't know, it might work out, it might not work out. Like, I had to learn different things at different points in my life, but just establish that boundaries. My third tip is that know what the role entails before you accept the offer. If possible, have a conversation with your client or the HR, because when I was a social media manager, I can't believe I'm saying when I was. Before I used to be as a social media manager, now it's like when I was a social. I'm gonna get used to it. Okay, so you have to actually know what it entails, the role entails, because many companies, many organizations just use the title social media manager, but they are looking for communications experts, they are looking for content writer, they are looking for copywriter, but they'll just write social media manager and then drag you in and then let you do all the work. Now the good thing about that is that you get to do those works and you get to learn by doing them, but you won't get any monetary benefits from it, but you'll be able to get knowledge from it. So if you're starting off, I don't think it's bad. Like, you can maybe just learn, because that way you learn a lot about copywriting, content writing, content management, and on the rest. But if you're experienced and you really want to just focus on your role as being a social media manager, you're supposed to know what it entails. Most times your client or the organization may just give you a contract and they will tell you to sign, and then you see a list of things, and at the end they will put additional duties. Please tell them to tell you the additional duties, because that's like a trap. That's a trap to make you do your social media management role and do other roles that are assigned to you that most likely would not be related to social media. So don't fall for that trap. Make sure you always ask, what are the roles, what are the things you're talking about? If they cannot explain it, you can speak to them to take it out of the contract, so you will not put yourself under pressure. Now you have to make sure that you experience before you can be able to call this shot, because it works better for people that experience. If you're not experienced and you just want to gain the skills and knowledge, you can, just blend it all. Which brings me to my next tip. As when you're starting off in social media management, your first year most especially is going to be your learning year. You're going to be learning a lot of things, so any opportunity you get, just learn. And you're going to be learning, but it's going to look really, really stressful, because you're not going to be paid for it. You're going to be literally under pressure most of the time. It happens to a lot of people in their first year. Some people even move to their second year, but the truth is that it only gets better. To be honest, it only gets better. The most important thing you have to do is to be able to learn as much as you can. When you learn as much as you can and you upskill, it increases your earning power and also increases your chances of getting better opportunities. So that's just the good side of it. My next tip is about learning, like being able to be teachable or trainable. I think I've mentioned this is one of my other videos, where you have to just be teachable because the way trends change, the way things evolve, you'll be surprised that what you were doing last month is way different from what you should be doing this month. So being able to always want to learn, open to learning, and then when someone is trying to teach you, you're being receptive to the knowledge that is being shared with you. So it's always a good opportunity for you to learn. My next point is, stop applying to every job vacancy. You see a social media management role, you apply. You see another one, you apply. You see another one, you apply. You want to work with 100 brands. You'll get burnt out. Seriously, you'll get burnt out. Just be able to cut your coat according to your size. I think I've mentioned this before in one of my videos, where you'll be able to manage everything at the same time. So it's best to just choose how much you can manage and then put in your best. Be dedicated, be committed to what you're doing. And I think this tip also applies to every role. Any role that you find yourself in, be very dedicated and committed even if it's going to be a temporary thing, don't always feel like, oh, I'm just doing this for the meantime, I'm going to be out of here soon. Yes, why that case is valid, it's best to also be dedicated and committed to your job. Okay, so yeah, that's really it for this video. I just thought I should wrap up and close that curtain of social media management officially on this channel. If you're a social media manager, I still hope that you're going to stick around with me. Please don't unsubscribe. I still need you around. I'm going to be posting other content that you'll find pretty helpful, so please consider remaining in the community. Okay, yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Bye.